What's this thingamajiggy for? Do I need it? Is there anything I can use in place of it? Today we're talking about kitchen tools and gadgets. Are you cooking? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Are You Cooking on Reach Up TV. I love scanning the garage sale tables or going down the kitchen aisles in the dollar stores, looking at all the gadgets. What is this for? I love that there's so many tools to get a job done. Today, we're going to take a look at utensils and gadgets and what to use if you don't have them. Let's start with what I have in my hand. This is called a meat tenderizer. Meat tenderizers have a flat side and they also have a side that has spikes on it, if you can take a look at that. So a fairly dangerous tool. We will use this to take any cut of meat, no matter how tough, to make it delicious and tender. So how do we use it? We're going to take some saran wrap and cut this to cover our chicken, steak, fish, pork. You want to make sure the plastic wrap covers your meat. If you do not, when you start tenderizing, you will be cleaning up your whole kitchen with juice all over everything. So let's prevent that. All right, so step one is going to be to cover the meat with plastic wrap. Second, you're going to use the side with the spikes on it. And you are going to just go ahead and start hitting that meat and getting out all the stresses from the day. This is a great tool to use at the end of a long day. And you'll tenderize that meat. It'll also make it a little bit thinner, which will actually cut down on some of your cooking time. Now, the opposite side is flat. I use this for cutlets. My husband is from an Italian family and we love breaded thin cutlets. So you can take a chicken breast that's fairly thick, put the plastic wrap over the top, and again, go on with your therapy, getting rid of that stress for the day till you get it as thin as you like it, and then you can bread it and fry it. And it takes like 3 minutes to get that done. So, meat tenderizer. This is a good tool. Now, what happens if you don't have a meat tenderizer? I'm going to tell you, you can use a can of soup or a can of beans, whatever you have in there, and you want to just go ahead and get a really firm grip on it, and you can do the same thing. You can just go ahead and beat the meat with your soup can. It will work. So there's an alternative to having a meat tenderizer. All right, what's next? I've got a kitchen whisk. So this is a great tool. The alternative to this tool would be using a fork. The kitchen whisk will be used for putting air into your scrambled eggs. You want to go ahead and just beat it in a circular motion in the bowl till all the yolks are broken up. And then you can do that probably for about a minute or two. And you can also use it for batters. It'll pancake batter, cake batter, it'll take the lumps out. And if you set the batter aside, it'll actually allow them to be a little bit fluffier. So go ahead and whisk it, set the bowl aside for a minute or two, and your pancakes will be a little bit thicker. What else is in our little basket here? This is a pasta spoon. So this one is actually nylon, and it has these forks around the outside, and it has little holes in it so you can strain the water when you scoop the pasta out. So this is a great spoon. Some people have a pasta spoon that has a hole in the middle. I didn't have one to show you, but if you have a pasta spoon with a hole, it is actually the exact measure for a single serving of pasta. You just take your spaghetti right from the box and fit it into the hole, and that is the perfect amount for one serving of pasta. I love that little tool. So your nylon slotted pasta spoon. All right, next we have some kitchen tongs. These do seem quite large for using in the kitchen. However, a lot of times I don't want to pull my French fries or my chicken out of the oven, and this will allow me to open the oven door, step back for a minute so you don't get steam in your face, and you can go ahead and turn over your vegetables, your chicken, your French fries without pulling the pan out. A lot of people use kitchen tongs also for the barbecue grill, and they're just meant to keep you safe, truly. So kitchen tongs are important. Now the different to use instead of the kitchen tongs, I would take pot holders, take your pan out of the oven, and then quickly turn them over with a fork. That will work perfectly fine. All right, the next thing we have is a ladle. So I have a short ladle here for soups and stews. I really like to be able to take a bowl full rather than little scoops with a small spoon, but it can be done. So this is more for convenience, for pasta sauce and whatnot. You just fill the bowls quicker. So that's just a little handy thing. Now I have here a cheese grater. This comes in all different shapes and sizes. It has a large grate on top, small grates on the bottom, and then a cheese slicer. Be careful with this. So I have a little piece of cheese here, and basically how you're gonna use it is you're going to hold it to where you can force it onto your cutting board where it won't move, or over a bowl, which is always nice. And you just, in a downward motion, push your cheese against the grates until you get grated cheese. And so those smaller ones, same thing, just get a really good grip on it and press the cheese into it. I will warn you, make sure you don't get too close. You will skin your knuckles, so don't go too close to that grate. All right, so that is our cheese grater. Now you can use this too for carrots, for cucumbers. I use it for a lot of different things. So this is multi-purpose for my kitchen. Okay, what else is in here? I have a silicone spatula. There are two different kinds of spatulas you can use in your kitchen, rubber spatulas. This one is a rubber spatula. This one is a silicone spatula. The difference is this one can take heat up to 400 degrees. This one will melt. I don't know how many of you have used regular rubber spatulas on your frying pans, and they're all melted on the edges. I would recommend you throw that out. If you can get another one, you can use a wooden spoon in place of it, but the silicone can actually be used for very high heat. So we have the spatulas. All right, since we mentioned the wooden spoons, I've got one in my pot here. Wooden spoons are great tools in the kitchen. You can use this in place of every other spoon that you have or that you might need. They are very cost effective. They are made of natural wood, so they're easy to clean. They don't go in the dishwasher. As long as they're not cracked, they are actually healthy to use. If you do find a cracked wooden spoon, it can grow bacteria. So just make sure that your spoon has no cracks in it. They're heat resistant. I love that. Some of these other spoons are not heat resistant, so you can just keep stirring and you never have to worry about burning yourself. But a little trick I want to show you why I have my pot here is when I make rice, the water will bubble over and go onto my stovetop. And a really simple trick is to just lay your spoon across the top of your pot on anything that you're boiling, and it will keep it from boiling over on your stove. Cool, right? All right, what else do we have in here? We have a traditional non-slotted spoon, and this one's made of nylon, but you could use metal or anything else. So this is just great for stirring pasta sauce, stirring any of your soups. What else do we have in here? I have a small spatula. This one has the little grooves in it, the little holes, so I don't pick up any grease from bacon, or it makes it easier to pick up the eggs. So this has a little bit of a slant on the bottom, so it does make it easier to pick up your food. So this is a small spatula. All right, kind of have all of these toys in here. All right, this is a vegetable peeler, right? Looks typical. Most people do not realize that vegetable peelers are they have double-sided blades on them. Most people will take their carrot, we'll use our spatula for all intents and purposes, and just go one way. And they're just doing their carrots going down. I want you to look at your vegetable peelers, because there's a double blade down there where you can actually go up and down on your cucumbers and carrots and get it done in half the time. So your vegetable peeler. We have two other large spatulas. One is slotted, which you use for things that have grease and fat and liquid. And then this one is solid. I love this one for pancakes. It's got a nice wide base on it, so my pancake doesn't break. A few things that you can use in place of these would be a fork. You can easily use a fork in place of just flipping your meal, so you don't have to have them. The other, going back to the vegetable peeler, if you don't have one, a knife will work very easily. Just make sure that you're not cutting towards yourself, because you will put yourself in danger and maybe end up in the ER, because knives are the #1 cause of cuts in the ER. So always make sure that you're going away from you and not towards you. All right, here's a gadget, a little thingamajiggy. This is called a potato masher. I never knew what this was. I had to have someone show me. And now that I know what it is, I really like it. When you boil potatoes, you'll put them into a bowl and just press down on the potatoes, and it mashes them really well. Now, what's the alternative to this would be a fork. Again, a little bit more muscle you need to put in with a fork, but you'll get the same result. This is also great for mashing avocados. You can use it if you steam vegetables like cauliflower and you want to mash them, making cauliflower rice. So useful. Do you have to have it? No, a fork will work just as well. All right, anything else in here that we have? I think that may be our whole basket of fun that we've had today. I'm glad that you joined us. I'm gonna say that's a wrap for today. I had a great time. We will whisk something up together on the next show. Are you cooking? Let's do this thing.